And it's just like, we've been psyoped, guys. We've been absolutely psyoped as a culture. Today is July 5th. I left for the desert in California a month ago. I haven't posted since then at all. Haven't kept you guys up to date. But it's been craziest month of my life, without a doubt. If you guys are on Instagram, you would see kind of the updates, post on my stories. Been growing a lot on there. In the past month, gained 20,000 followers over there. And have never been more mission aligned than I am right now. So clear on a daily basis, on a long-term basis, what needs to be done, what I need to do. I have completely shifted my main focus from male self-development to the vegan movement and fruitarianism, because I realize the amount of people speaking on it and the actual impact it has on this world is much more tremendous. And my voice there is much more needed than it is in the men's self-development space. That being said, I still think it's just as important for men to self-develop, but I'm realizing it's not for the reasons I commonly think, right? Self-development is a catalyst for you to be able to serve the world better. It's truly what it is. Self-development, when you get the money, when you get the chicks, it's the same. You feel the same emptiness. When you have the ability to serve in a way you specifically can serve best, nothing matches it. Nothing matches it at all. And I'm at the point, fellas, where my self-development journey has brought me to a position where I can serve in ways I never imagined I could. I learned a lot in just this last month. A lot. I didn't really have a plan coming on here. I just kind of wanted to update you guys. But to summarize what I learned, oh man, I learned a lot. Couple categories. Number one, we'll stay on the self-development. If you've been watching some of the previous videos, you've seen my brother talk about sin, ego. I was deeply, my entire life, deeply consumed and driven by pride and validation. Had no idea. Had some idea, like I liked validation from women. I knew that, I could tell that. But I felt like I was told myself I was free from it, and I was super egoless and driven just by desire to help. And my brother, Michael, on this channel, pointed out different areas where my pride was shining through. And I denied. And then I realized eventually, after so many examples, I was like, holy shit, I'm prideful. Pride has been driving me for 22 years. And it's been a mix of pride and source, but because I've been unable to see the pride, it's been in the driver's seat. And after that, after I accepted it, I was able to see it, and I was able to observe and know. I could literally ask myself, even when I'm talking to you guys, I can consciously ask myself, is what I'm saying to serve my ego, what you guys think of me, or is what I'm saying important for you guys in the world to hear? And it's as simple as that little reflection is what's my intention here. But you can't have that reflection if you don't realize you struggle with sin, right? Some people it's lust, some people it's envy, gluttony, sloth, wrath, greed, pride. A lot of people's is pride. And I've realized I've struggled with it my whole life without even knowing it. But since then, that was almost a month ago tomorrow, I have been so much more abundant, so much more driven by what I'm supposed to be driven by. I'm so much more intelligent. I'm able to actually hear source, God, universe so much clearer. I'm driven by mission instead of validation. And I've also done this experiment, or asked my guys, like my clients, what do you feel like you struggle with out of these 7? And some people it's immediate, they know. Other people we have to see, wait, why did you do this in the past? Why were you driven to do these things that didn't make sense? And once we figure it out, we're like, oh my gosh, this has been a blockade in my consciousness for so long. We have multiple YouTube videos on this, so I don't want to go deep on that. But that's one thing I learned, is that we all have a sin we struggle with more than others, and some of us have multiple that we really, really struggle with. This is the hardest step, admitting and acknowledging that we struggle with these things, we can start to see them and take them out of the driver's seat. So that was in the desert. I then went to the tropics with my buddy. Well, I met him on the internet, but I was like, I loved his vibe. You know, we called each other. We got connected. So I went to my buddy Sal's. He has a beautiful fruit farm in Homestead, Florida. Beautiful, Eden-like. And I get there, and he's showing me around his farm, and there's just these fruit trees everywhere, all different types, fruits I've never tried, delicious, abundant, falling on the floor. There's so many. And as I'm eating them and enjoying them, enjoying his presence, enjoying his garden he's created, over the days, I'm starting to realize, like, this is Eden. Like, this is heaven on earth, right? I genuinely was just like, wait, we never left Eden, right? We still can eat plants and fruits abundantly and live a beautiful lifestyle with other people who are just as aligned as we are, and help and be on missions that help other people, and just feel like we're in Eden. I completely, that entire time I was there, felt like I was eating Eden. My pride was not in the driver's seat. I was eating fruit in beautiful weather with beautiful people around me, and I was like, this is heaven, bro. This is heaven. And what that woke me up to was the severity of my mission. And my mission is twofold, which is number 1, veganism, and number 2, fruitarianism. And when I really realized the importance of it, me and my buddy Sal, we were climbing up a huge tree. I think I actually have a photo of it. Huge tree in his backyard. And when we got up there, we had an amazing conversation just looking upon the garden. And he started to explain to me, we started talking just about how, awful we treat the animal kingdom. And he said, most of our problems come from what we eat. I was like, okay. And I thought about it a little bit. We were kind of like silent. And I started to realize, yes, absolutely. Not just in the disease and the crisis of our health, not just in the animals and how we're destroying billions of lives a day, taking them needlessly, not just in the environment, we're absolutely destroying. Animal agriculture is undoubtedly the number 1 cause of habitat destruction, undoubtedly, and emissions. It's absolutely destroying our environment. But not just that. The biggest, I'm not even going to say the biggest, but the most underlooked aspect of animal consumption is what it does to our spirit and how it allows us to interact with the world. When we consume flesh of an innocent animal, we pay for it and we consume it and justify it. We are then saying, I can impose my will on you, on your innocence, because I get gratification, momentary gratification from you. What that emanates into with the way we treat other people, all the same. all the same. In order for an animal to get to our plate, the animal has to be enslaved, mother has to be raped, the child has to be trafficked, especially with milk consumption and all factory farming. Lots of abuse and torture amiss in between that, and murder. Enslavement, rape, trafficking, torture, abuse, murder. All because we like the way it tastes. And if you think it's because we need it to be healthy and we need meat to thrive, brother, it's been 2 years for me. I've absolutely gone deep in the research. I've met vegans who've been vegan for 50 plus years in amazing health. I have never felt better in my life and continue to feel better, and immediately felt better once I dropped the flesh consumption. Like it was a weight off my soul. We do not need that shit at all. And it's just doing just that, destroying our health, planet, animals, and our souls, keeping us trapped. And that is the biggest problem in the fucking world right there, without a doubt. Most of our problems stem from that. Now, to lift the spirits a little bit, on the other side of that, one second. To lift the spirits a little bit, let's take the other part of this, which is fruitarianism. Fruitarianism is quite literally the solution to every single thing I just mentioned. The environment, the health, the spirituality, and the animals. I have been fruitarian more or less for a little over 2 months now. And I say more or less because when I'm at my dad's here, he makes cooked food, I'll have it here and there. But I was doing strict fruitarianism, which is about 80, I was doing at 90% some days, just fruit. And brothers, oh my God. All I can ask is that you hear me and trust me when I say there is no bigger benefit, or there's no better diet, nothing that can quite make you feel like eating all fruit. I'm not just talking physically, I'm talking spiritually, mentally, and physically. It's absolutely insane. Without a doubt in my mind, and I've met a lot of other long-term fruitarians, raw vegans, without a doubt in my mind, it is our species-specific diet. We are frugivores. Our biology is perfect for hunting, grabbing, eating, digesting fruit, and enjoying fruit. And it has what we actually need, which is glucose energy, which is what our bodies run on. And it quite literally, the fact that I couldn't find this out until I did this like fruit challenge because someone else I knew on Instagram liked it. The fact it took me 22 years, I didn't even think about it. And now trying it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have found the path. I'm quite literally, guys, I'm going to Bali tomorrow. Primarily for the fruit. Primarily because I can pick fresh fruit, ripe fruit off the trees and be operating at my highest level so I could spread this mission. It makes that much of a difference. It makes that much of a difference. Next, we have environment. This one is massive. So with a fruit tree, when you look at fruit wants to be eaten, right? But it's literally, we're eating the sexual organ of the tree. We are reproducing with the tree. I think it's a beautiful thing. By eating it, you fulfill its purpose, which is to give fruit and to be eaten. That's why it creates so much. That's why it tastes so good. Naturally, you don't have to cook it. It gives you energy. It looks amazing, right? It produces more than it needs. The stuff that's not eaten goes back in the ground and fertilizes the grass, the land. And no harm needs to be done. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. The food wants to be eaten, right? Don't you think about eating something? If you believe at all in energy, like, I mean, science admit everything is moving, everything's vibrating at different frequencies. If the food itself goes through fear, torture, death, all the things I said earlier, it's not meant to be eaten. It doesn't want to be eaten at all. right? We look at a rotting corpse. We look at an animal. We're like, I don't want to eat that, right? It has to be cooked and seasoned. But you ingest this pain, fear, and suffering. You don't realize until you stop eating it what it does to your soul. You don't realize until you stop eating it. You can't comprehend, you can't think, you can't imagine until you stop eating it and realize what it actually does to your soul. Fruit, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. It invigorates me, right? It literally makes me feel alive every time I eat it, and grateful that I was able to fulfill this thing's purpose, to carry out what this thing was meant to do. Animals were not meant to be slaughtered for us. They were meant to live a natural life. If a lion gets them, great. For us, we don't need to eat them. We literally industrially farm, rape, breed these things, put them in terrible conditionings, these individual souls that feel pain. Feed them food so their flesh gets bigger, and then kill the soul so we can consume the corpse, the dead body part. And we don't realize how disgusting this is until we stop doing it, because it's a disease. It's a mental disease. I'm saying this because it's hard to escape, right? A lot of you probably aren't vegan, and it's hard to escape. I can assure you. I was doing all the things: the semen retention, the self-development, all 4 pillars of the method, running businesses, doing door-to-door sales. I was conscious, focusing on a higher purpose, all of that. I couldn't see this one bit, and I would never have seen it unless someone is doing exactly what I'm doing to you, to me, 2 years ago, my brother. Right? I was resistant. But once I released the flesh consumption, my soul was free. Okay, so that was a little rant. But what fruit can actually do for our environment? If we take all these grasslands that we destroyed, that used to be wilderness or wild grasslands, and re-tree them, regrow them, create trees. Trees absorb carbon. Everyone's worried about emissions carbon, which animal agriculture is actually the biggest factor of that, and it's actually not good to have too much in the environment. It's true. Trees absorb it, right? That's number one. When we plant these trees, these fruit trees, we can get so much more food per acre. You know how many acres of land a cow needs, a grazing cow needs? I think it's something like 33% of agriculture land goes to cattle, and it produces about 0.5% of the calories. 30% of the land produces 0.5% of the calories. Fact check it. If I'm wrong, I'll pop up. Switched out the phone, but we're back. When you compare that to a fruit tree is so abundant in how much fruit it grows. I was in Homestead, Florida, like I said. We were jumping around these different farms because we brought 4,500 pounds of fruit, drove it from Michigan to Florida, which is a 22-hour drive for the vegan wellness retreat. Over 300 vegans, most of them raw vegans. It was just all raw vegan food, and these people were thriving. Anyways, when I was in Homestead, Florida, seeing these farms, there was just fruit everywhere, on the ground everywhere. I'm like, how is this even possible? And I asked these guys who own these farms, who run these farms, I'm like, could fruit feed the world? They're like, 100%, without a doubt. If we actually put nearly as much attention into fruit agriculture as we did to animal agriculture, we could 100% feed the world, right? And feed it abundantly with food that actually enlivens us instead of drains us. It's that deep. So that's the environmental factor, massive there. The spiritual factor, like I said, of like the energy you get, the clarity you get, the connection to God you get is insane. And the desire to spread love is also insane. Like these guys who I met, pop a B-roll up there. These dudes I met them, we were together for about 2 weeks, 5 days at the farm, a week at more like 10 days. My brothers for life. Like I have never been able to connect with someone so deep and genuinely and like a brother than these guys, because we were out of our egos. Like we still have them, but we were able to connect and just have genuine love for each other, bro. It was nuts. These guys both frugivores, long-term frugivores. Some of the most pure, kind-hearted people I met. Sal didn't have me pay anything for his plate to come stay at his place. Gave me all the fruit I lived off of his fruit for a week. I didn't even get a second thought if he felt like he was giving me too much or that he didn't want to give it. Just abundant, bro. It's abundant. So the way it changes your spirit is crazy. Like I said before, what eating meat does, it seeps into your soul and allows you to just directly violate the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. And a lot of it happens at the subconscious level, so that's huge. What was the other one? Oh yeah, animal welfare, guys. I mean, like, here's the thing: is like we kill. I think it's between 3 to 6 billion animals a day, including sea creatures. Billion. Like, you don't even need to wrap your head around that because our brains aren't even capable of really understanding what 3 billion looks like. Billion. Needlessly, guys, needlessly. It is the biggest plague on our planet 1000%. And the craziest part is once you stop participating in it, you're freed from it. And you feel better and more aligned and you don't want to go back. Yeah, people have gone back, vegans have gone back, but the ones who have gone back, weak. Societal pressure, cultural pressure, because that's the only downside of going vegan is that the fact that other people are gonna have an inherent dislike towards you because you're shining, just by you existing, you're shining a light of their own immorality. Right? Because like, just keeping it blunt, what we do to animals when we don't have to, kill them, torture them, these innocent beings, because we like the way they taste, you can't say that's moral. Right? And if that fits within your moral structure, that moral structure will destroy the world, saying I can impose my will for my pleasure. So that's the beautiful thing. Veganism number one, stop consuming animals. Stop consuming animals. Right? Number two, start consuming more fruit. And this has to happen at a macro level, farming level for, to really, really see the strides, but it's that simple. Going into the next portion of my trip, which was the vegan wellness retreat, it was beautiful. Again, another aspect of Eden I saw, which was just that the people all loved each other. The people had their walls down. The thing about veganism, and the thing about the difference between animal consumption and other sins, is that most sins we do are against ourselves. Lusting, any of the 7 deadly sins. Like being undisciplined, all these things, drugs, whatever it may be, it's against ourselves, which is still bad, but it's like there's not a victim. With animal consumption, there's a victim. Right? People like to say, oh, vegans love feeling more superior, or try to tell me they're more superior. Brother, we're just saying don't consume animals. Right? Don't consume these innocent beings. It's that simple, and what it does to your soul is it allows you to treat other people with more respect, the whole planet with more respect, and that's what I felt with every person I met, and these people were healthy, long-term vegans. I made a reel that went viral. It's like 400K that's viral for me, and it was like 7 vegans all next to each other who were much longer than me. I've only been 2 years. These people, 10 plus, one guy was 47 years vegan, raw vegan, deadlift champion. Saying how long they were vegan for, all had great physiques, especially considering the age for some of these guys. And it's just like, we've been psyoped, guys. We've been absolutely psyoped as a culture. And that's why I'm on the mission I'm on, is because I have just feel complete alignment when I'm doing this, when I'm spreading this, when I'm talking about it. It's so clear to me that it is the truth. Veganism and fruitarianism, it's so crystal clear. And I've been stress testing. I haven't been just my eyes on my own thing and nothing else I've been stress testing, and it's always come out to be the truth. Like I've been going in deep conversations with conscious individuals. You can never justify it, and you can and fruit. People love fruit. Even the primal bros, they're like, yeah, like I could see fruit. They hate the vegan stuff, but they love the fruit stuff. Anyways, what am I doing now? Leaving for Bali for 1 to 2 months. I'm gonna go spread. I'm just gonna go spread. I have such a drive to spread this truth because I know what it means for the world if this truth spreads, and I feel like God put it on my heart to spread it because there's nothing I feel more driven to do. So I'm going to Bali, gonna go spread as far as wide possible, make some more content. I'm really Instagram, guys. Instagram, I'm spreading the message there. Like I think, we'll see how this video does, how many people hear this, but it's like how many people can hear my message. With this, it's so fewer. With self-development content, it's nice because I can go deeper. which is Instagram. It's a lot of brain rot, but it's like right now I just gotta wake people up, just gotta wake minds up, wake souls up. And so I don't know how much I'll be doing. I'm glad I got this at least though, because it's been a while. It's been a month. Even some of my clients were saying, where the videos at. Last thing about that, my brother is we realize he enjoys and is much better at coaching clients than I am, like doing long-term coaching. And so all the clients are going to him. He's amazing at it. Like I would watch him like DMing clients all day, being on these calls, having insane retention rates with his guys, crazy results. I'd be like, how is he doing this? And then he'd be watching me making this content on Instagram, like getting a ton of views, making like 5 reels a day. He's like, how are you doing this? And we're like, let's do what we're best at. So still offer coaching. It's through my brother. I do offer one-on-one calls, single calls where you put your situation in and we basically attack. Like what I'm best at doing is inspiring, analyzing, figuring out what's the bottleneck, and giving you the resources to go. So if you want that, you can now, don't need to commit to 4 months. You can just book a call with me. That'll be in the link. Otherwise, community is still in the works. We want to get it a little more up and ready before we start funneling people there. And yeah, guys, I would follow me on Instagram if you have it for sure, if you like my content. And then you can DM me on there as well. Also, I'll put a plant-based guide. Spend a lot of time on that. Made that. That'll answer all your questions transitioning from eating meat to the abundance lifestyle of plant-based. And with love, peace.